Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Good Exchange webinar, which is introducing you to using Twitter, Facebook, and also now WhatsApp for the Good Exchange. So it's aimed at people who are completely new to social media and want to set up Twitter, Facebook pages and use WhatsApp for their fundraising activities. If you're a user of the Good Exchange, there is some information here that will help you to use your Good Exchange project, but a lot of the content is still valuable and valid for people who aren't using the Good Exchange yet. There's a quick run through the agenda. We'll talk a bit about social media and where to start, and then run through step by step on how to get started with Twitter, how to get started with Facebook, and how to get started with using WhatsApp. And then there'll be a live demonstration of how to use those tools in the Good Exchange platform. So we've got three presenters today. So I'm Marina Stedman. I'm head of marketing at the Good Exchange, so responsible for all the marketing, the emails you get, the events, the website, and everything like that. We've got Misha Wallace. Say hello, Misha.
Hi.
I'm sure many of you know Misha. She's our client service administrator, so one of the people that you speak to if you have any problems or issues with the Good Exchange. And we've got Roisin Evans.
Hello.
So Roisin has a varied role, so she supports marketing and client services. So you may know her from a client services point of view, or you may know her from a marketing point of view. And we'll all be covering various bits of the webinar today. So let's move on to the content of the webinar. Why is social media important? I think the important thing for fundraising in the UK today, and these are January 2019 figures, that nearly 84% of the UK population are using social media in the UK. And here, this is interesting, 107% of the population have a mobile subscription. That is because lots of people have more than one. 95% of the population has access to the internet. 67% are active social media users, and over half of them use social media on mobile. So increasingly, the way that fundraising organisations, charitable causes need to communicate with their followers and supporters is through social media. And that's why we're aiming, one of our goals is to show people how to use social media tools for fundraising activities. Also, the time people spend on media, I mean, this figure is staggering. The average person spends over 5 hours, nearly 6 hours a day using the internet. And some people must spend a lot more than 6 hours, because I don't think I spend 6 hours a day using the internet. But also things like streaming music and using social media. So your target audiences are spending nearly 2 hours a day using social media. So what you want is to get some of that time. So just finishing off on this area, the most active social media platforms, so the ones in orange are what are called social networks, so things you communicate online like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. The red ones are more the messenger type networks, so things like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. But interestingly, WhatsApp is the #1 application that people use on their mobile phones in the UK. And Facebook is the second, and Twitter is number 8. So that's why we're focusing on Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp today. So social media isn't just a way of talking to your friends and family. It's a way for charitable organisations to grow their communities, so grow their supporters, the users, and also the beneficiaries you talk to and your volunteers. So it's a way to build a community, but also a way to publicise things that you're doing. So here's an example of an organisation that was fundraising on the platform. They had a fundraising event, and while they're at the event, they were showing video of the event live, publicising that they were there, also using it before the event to drive attendance. So we've got an event today in Jersey, and we did a lot of social media on Facebook and Twitter, for example, to publicise the event. And what we found was that one person in Jersey would see the event, and then they were forwarding that on through Facebook to their contacts. So we had a much wider list of people attending than the people that we had on our mailing list. And you can also use it to drive donations, and we'll talk about using WhatsApp to drive donations further on in the webinar. So you can see here a little picture of someone who's driving donations. So I think one of the things that we see from people we talk to about social media is people think it's very complicated, but really there's 3 steps to social media success. The first thing is be prepared. So think about, what does your organization have? A brand? Does it have an image, a logo? What message are you trying to give to people? And what social media platforms are going to be best for your organization? So at the Good Exchange, we use Twitter, Facebook, and we've just started using Instagram. But if you're a small organization like us, you can't use every single social media platform. So it might be best to focus on starting with 1 or maybe 2. Get that going. And once you've got that going, you can reuse a lot of the messaging and content that you make. So photos, messaging, event information, for example, you can just reuse it across the platforms. One thing that's very important here, you will need an administrator. And ideally, you need 2 people who have access to the account, because if one person leaves, you won't be able to get into it. And one of the things we see a lot is people create accounts and then they don't carry on using them. And it's really important on social media to continually put information on it. And the other thing you'll need is contributors. So it's not just the administrator who could be responsible. You could have other people in your organization who could put content on for you. So once you've decided that, you can create your accounts and set up your profiles, which we'll show you how to do today, and then start sharing. So build your audience, incorporate your activities. So one thing you can do, if you've got events and major activities throughout the year, think about incorporating those into your social media plan. So then you've all automatically got content that you can build and put on your social media. So we're going to start with Twitter. So this is what Twitter looks like. This is Young People and Children First. It's a project that's fundraising on the Good Exchange. So in the middle, you've got the sort of profile for the organisation. And now on the left-hand side, this is a new thing that Twitter's done. This is the profile information for your organisation. So at the moment, I'm looking at a third party, Young People and Children First, but these menu items here are for the Good Exchange. So this link takes you, for example, to the Good Exchange's profile. And now what Twitter's decided to do is to give us lots of information down the side of things that we might want to do. So hints and tips on people we might want to follow, for example. So what they're trying to do is bring a lot of information into one place, into your homepage, that will help you to manage Twitter more easily and more effectively. So how do you get to this position? I think we've got a question.
So our question that we have is, does the home page and the profile page look different on mobile, iPad and PC? It's a little bit different. It's quite similar. It's just a bit more streamlined. You should still have the same information on there. There's the odd little bit that's not available on a mobile, but it should look really quite similar.
But you might find it's in a long line.
Yeah.
And you have to scroll down rather than being landscape like this. It will more be long. So you might have to click around a bit to find things. So how to create a Twitter account. So go to twitter.com and click sign up. So quite straightforward to do that. Now, the good thing about Twitter is you can have a Twitter account for your organization. So even if you've got your own Twitter account, you can still create another account for your charitable organization. Now, one of the things that Twitter has done very recently is when you create your account here and you put a name in there, it will give you a Twitter handle based on the name you put in. So going back to step 1, it's very important when you're looking at creating a Twitter account for your organization to think about the name that you want your organization to be found under. So try and use one that you know your followers and supporters know you by, and don't try and be too complicated. You can use an email address instead to set this up. And again, but at the moment, so Twitter will then take that email address and make it into your Twitter handle. So you might not want to. You might want to put the name of your organization in there that you want to be associated with your account. Now, if you've already got your own Twitter account, you can only use one Twitter address on one Twitter account. So you might find here that you'd have to put your organizational email account in to create an email account. a Twitter account for your organisation. Now, you will have to put an email in at some stage because Twitter will want to send you a confirmation email to prove that you're you and send you a code to put in to Twitter to prove that you are actually the person who's setting up this Twitter account. So when you've done that, click on Next. And you can here start customizing, but you can actually bypass this. So when you're talking about customizing your experience, you can put in things that you like and, you know, your hobbies and things like that. And then Twitter will give you information on tweets and things that it thinks you want, but you don't have to do that now. So once you get there, you can say, right, it'll give you the name, put your telephone number in. So this is going to become my Twitter handle, and you just click on sign up. So once you click on sign up, you'll be taken step by step through all the things you have to do next. So when you click on sign up, this is where you'll get the code. So you can see here it's going to send it to the email address I put in. Or alternatively, if you put a mobile phone number in, you can get your code by text, one or the other. Once you've put your code in and Twitter has verified you, you'll need to create a password for your Twitter account. So make sure you write it down, or it's one that you can remember. And the good thing, the ideal thing is that if it's an organizational account, you tell someone else what your password is as well. So don't use one of your personal passwords that you use for the other things that you have at home. So then at some stage, you will be asked by Twitter to add a phone number, because if you get locked out or something, it quite often wants to send you a text. And it may at that time send you a code. Now, what Twitter does now, and you can do this as you go along, but you also do have the option to skip for now, is start building your profile. And I'll show you later what it looks like if you don't put any of this in now, and what it looks like when you started filling in. So you can now put a profile picture. Now, if you're an organisation, quite often people will put their logo in there rather than a photo. And your bio here, so going back to step one, you know, it's really helpful if, when you're thinking about setting up your social media accounts, you write a short description of your organisation. So here you can see you've got up to 160 characters. So it's what people might call the elevator pitch. How can you describe your organisation in 160 characters that people who don't know you would be able to read and understand what you do? Also here, you can set up your organisational interests. Now, this is quite useful to do because social media tools like Twitter and Facebook are increasingly using their algorithms to send you information, posts, adverts, tweets that they think you will like based on your interests. So the better you set your interests here, the more likely you are that the posts you see, the tweets you see, the adverts you see are going to be relevant to what you're interested in, and also suggestions on other organisations that you might want to follow and you might want to contact, because it uses interests to decide what content to show you. Now, if you want to see your organised interests later on when you've registered, you can click the profile icon, which I'll show you later, in the navigation bar at the top. You can select settings and privacy, and then you can click your Twitter data and you can see what interests you've got and you can edit them. So at this stage when you're registering, for example, you could say, I'm interested in charity. So I type charity in, and then I can just go down and click these interests. I can select the ones I'm interested in, and then they are being added to my profile, and they will help Twitter to give me things that I'm interested in. So you can see here I clicked on Charity Tuesday, and Charity Tuesday's become a topic that I'm interested in, and I'll hopefully get to see tweets and adverts relating to that. Also, when you've put your interests in, Twitter will help you to build people that you follow by giving you suggestions. So because I selected charity and Charity Tuesday, Twitter automatically then gave me some relevant charity organisations and charities that I might want to follow. And if I want to follow them, I just click on the blue button. Also at this stage, you can turn on notifications. So notifications are updates and information that will be sent to you on your mobile phone. You can get them on your on your website, on your laptop and on your website if you want, but we're not going to cover that. So you can choose at this stage what you want to be notified about. So one thing as a charitable organisation setting up a Twitter account, you might want to be notified when people are sending you direct messages, for example. So somebody might be contacting you to ask a question on Twitter, and you might want to be notified so that you can go back and reply to them. Or you might want to be notified when someone's retweeted one of your tweets. Or maybe there is now a Twitter service, so if there's a crisis or an emergency, for example, if you're an emergency charitable organisation, you might want to be notified if there's a flood or a fire or something. You can set up a notification to be alerted about an emergency. If you want to edit your notifications afterwards, I've put a link there to the website Twitter page that tells you how to do that. So once you've gone through all those steps, you'll see an empty organisational profile. So you can see here Twitter's given me this Twitter handle. So if I want to now edit and set up my organisational profile, I click on this profile icon at the top right. Now if I want to change my Twitter handle, on the menu bar on the left, you'll see you've got these three buttons there. You click on that button and it will take you to this menu, and you click on Settings and Privacy and Account, and under Account you see you can edit your username if you want to. One thing to be aware of, Twitter won't let you have a username that someone else has got. So if there's someone else, if you wanted to make the Good Exchange now, you wouldn't be able to. You might tell you that you make the Good Exchange 1, for example. So you can choose a new name, but it has to be one that no one else has got. So click on the Save, and then you can start editing. So click on your profile, and you can see here, click on your profile, click on Edit Profile, and then you can start filling in your profile. So what you've got in your profile is your logo, which you may have added. If you remember earlier on, I had an opportunity to add my photo and my name, an organisational header image, my Twitter handle I should have already, my description, again, I could have added that already, a link to my website, and I can even choose a colour. So here you can see the default's blue, but I can change that. So you can see this is what it looks like when it's empty. Name of your organisation goes there. You can add a header photo. We'll talk briefly about a free tool that you can use to create your header photo. Your Twitter handle automatically populated there. That's the 160 characters that I talked about earlier. That's where you put your website URL. That's where you choose your colour. And then you save. So this is what it looks like, a live Twitter page. This is our Twitter page. So you can see, this is our logo that we uploaded earlier in the step. This is our organisation name. This is our Twitter handle. So all those things for you, if you follow the steps we went through earlier, should automatically be populated when your account is live. There is our Twitter banner. Here is our 160 character description. There's our website. There, and interestingly this, so once you start going, you can see information here like how many tweets you've done since you started. I can see here how many organisations I'm following and how many followers we've got. So once you've done that, your Twitter account is live. All you have to do is start tweeting. So to start tweeting, you can see in the left-hand bar, you've got a tweet button. You click on that and you can type anything you like up to 260 characters. Now, if you put a URL in, so you might be saying, donate to our Good Exchange page, and Misha will show you how to do that in the demo, Twitter should automatically recognise that you've put a link in. And you can see here as well, if you put a hashtag in front of it, it will recognise that it's a tagged word and highlight that. And people can click on the hashtagged words and it will take you to other people that are using those words. And if you're interested in looking at hashtags, we've got some more advanced Twitter webinars that show you how to use hashtags and things like that. You can search Twitter for organisations to follow at the top. And one thing we'd recommend is that you pin a tweet. So you can see here, I said we've got our event in Jersey today. So our pinned tweet for today is the event in Jersey. And if you want to change it, you just click on the arrow. You can unpin that one and then pin another one. Now, I've talked about a lot of Twitter terms here. If you want to have a look at the Twitter glossary, I've put the link in this slide so you can have a look at what all these terms mean at your own leisure. So that's how to start Twitter. Now we're moving on to Facebook. The thing about Facebook is to have an organisational Facebook page, you have to have a personal Facebook account. So a Facebook page and a Facebook account are two different things. The good thing to know is even if you have to create a Facebook account for yourself to get a Facebook page for your organisation, you don't have to use your own Facebook account for anything, and no one will know that your personal Facebook account is linked to your Facebook page, and you don't even have to put any content on your Facebook account. So to create a new Facebook account, go to facebook.com and put in these details, so name, surname, mobile number. Now, with Facebook, you have to put in your date of birth. And Facebook says it so that you get the right experience, so they send you information that they think is relevant. But you can edit your permissions. So here you can see if you click on your name and about in your Facebook account, you can see here I've set my birthday to only be visible to me. So while you have to put it in, nobody else has to see it. Now again, they'll send you a code either via email or telephone, and you have to confirm the code to create your account. Once you have an account, then you can set up a page for your organisation. This is something that a lot of people do get confused about. So we have organisations setting up Facebook accounts, but in Facebook terms and contractual terms, organisations are not allowed to have Facebook accounts. You can only have a Facebook page. So once you have a Facebook account, you can then go to your account and click on Manage Page. Then when you've clicked on Manage Page, you can then create a page. So again, going through similar steps to the steps we went through on Twitter, you have to give your page a name. Again, this will have to be unique. And also in Facebook, your page is allocated to a category. So if you're a charitable organisation, you probably want your page to be in the charity organisation category. So if you start typing up here, category charity, it will automatically show you charity organisation, which you can then select. Fill in your address details and click on continue. So you don't have to add your organisational phone number here, and you can also hide your organisation's address if you don't want anyone to see it. So for example, if you're a very small charitable organisation, you might not have an address. You might be operating from home, and you might not want to show that on your Facebook page. So on your Facebook page, again, very similar to Twitter, you'll have your logo, which they call a profile picture. You'll have a cover photo, which is a sort of advert for what you do, similar to Twitter. You'll have your name, your username or handle. You'll have a send message button, which defaults to send message. And you used to be able to call this a donate button and link it to the Good Exchange, but now you have to call it a learn more button and link it to the Good Exchange. If you use the donate button, it will link to Facebook Donate, not to your Good Exchange project. Your Facebook category, which we've already set. Make sure that your location is set to UK, and then you'll have a menu and a community, which is people who like you and follow you. So again, when you've set up your account, it will look very much like this. So very similar to a Twitter account, but with nothing in it. So when you first see it, you'll have a number of options of things to do to complete your account and set it up. So to put your logo in, hover over the grey circle, click on it, And then you can choose from photos, logos, and things that you have on your PC and upload it there. So you saw in the Good Exchange one, we've got the Good Exchange logo there. You can change your cover photo by clicking here on Add a Cover, and we'll briefly talk through how to make one very easily with a tool called Canva a little bit further on. So you can choose here, you upload. You can either put a photo or a video or upload an image that you've already made. Add a button that I'll show you in a minute. If you've got friends or followers already, you can invite them. You don't have to, but you can invite people you already know. You add your username and you create your page. So then you can start adding to your page. Now, when you want to choose your organisation name, it's a good idea if you can to make your organisation name the same as your Twitter name. So we've got the Good Exchange and the Good Exchange. So one of the things you're thinking about when you're doing your planning at the beginning, it might be worth going on to Twitter and Facebook and having a look at whether there are any organisations that are using a name like yours, or whether your organisation name is free and you can use those too. And then pick one that you can use on Twitter and Facebook. Because Twitter and Facebook, they both won't let you have a username that someone else is using. So once you've got one you're happy with, put it in. You can see here it'll be ticked if Facebook's happy with it, and then you can create it. So once you've put in your logo, your username, your image, you can see here, this is the Good Exchange's Facebook page. So this is what a populated Facebook page looks like. And you can see here, we've changed this button to say Learn More, and this button is pointing to the Good Exchange's website. So there's our logo, here's our cover photo, there's our organisation name, there's our username. As I said, here's the Learn More button. This is if you want to edit your general category. So we're in charitable organisation, you can do that through the menu here. You click on the community button, it will tell you who your followers are and who you're following. And here is your Learn More button that we mentioned. So if you want to edit your Learn More button, you just click on it, select Add a Button, select which button you want to appear. So you have to have the Learn More button. The only button you can use on Facebook now that if you want to link to an external website is the Learn More button. So if we click on the Learn More button, we will be allowed to put a website link in here that links to a website or a website page. So if you're a fundraiser on the Good Exchange, you would probably want to link it to your fundraising organisation page on the Good Exchange. You can put your project on, but if you have this on your Facebook page and your project becomes fully funded or finishes, that link will no longer be live. And anyone clicking on your button will not be able to find your project or donate. So if you put your organisational page on there, it will show you all the current projects you've got live, and that will always be a live link. So you add your website link, click Save, click Finish, and you can see that Facebook has confirmed that that's working. And you can see now here that the Learn More button is live on my page, and if you click on it, it will take you to hopefully your organisation page on the Good Exchange. So anyone visiting your page who clicks on that button will be directed to your organisational fund page on the Good Exchange and can see which projects you've got alive and which ones are successful. If you make videos, you can use YouTube to store them. So increasingly now you'll probably have supporters who are making videos on their phones, but you can use YouTube to store and manage those videos, and then you can upload them into things like Twitter and Facebook. So you can link them to your Twitter and Facebook posts. So you can see the Good Exchange's YouTube channel here, and you can see the sorts of things I'm talking about. Also, there's a tool called Canva that you can use, that we use to design our Facebook and Twitter banners. So what Canva is, it's a very simple design tool aimed at people who don't know how to design anything, like me. Because you have a template, you say, I want to design a Facebook banner, and it gives you a template that's exactly the right size. And all you need to do is upload some pictures that are relevant to your organization, upload your logo, and it automatically makes you a banner that you can save and then upload into Twitter and Facebook. The other great thing about Canva is it's completely free if you're a non-profit organization. So if you follow this link from the slide, and we will send all the slides out afterwards with the live links, you can sign up for a free version of Canva and make your own designs, and also use them for your tweets and posts that look really professional without having to be a designer or have to pay for a designer. So now I'm going to hand over to Misha, who's going to show you how to link now your social media pages with your Good Exchange projects.
Okay, so we're going to come away from the slides now and go over to the live Good Exchange and to an applicant organisation account, so that I can show you how to link up your Facebook and Twitter pages with your account on the Good Exchange. Okay, so you should now see a live applicant dashboard in front of you. Now, you may be familiar with the dashboard already. Once you start registering with us on the Good Exchange, the system creates the dashboard for you automatically. And this is where you manage all of your organisation and project details in your account. So the section that we're interested in now is the organisation tab on your dashboard. So you're just going to My Dashboard on the top right when you're logged in, and then clicking on organisation, which it may bring you into automatically. Now, when you click on the organisation tab, you can see that it's giving you general details about your organisation that you've added already during the registration process. And if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you'll see here that it's got an option to add social networks. Now, this is where we're going to add our Facebook and Twitter pages. So the next thing you should do is open up your Facebook and Twitter pages in a new window. Going back to the dashboard, we want to click to add our first social media page onto our account. So we just click on the green add button, and we're going to add our Twitter account first of all. So from the drop-down menu, we're going to select Twitter, and it's asking us for the URL of our Twitter page. So now we've got the other window open, we're going to go and find that link that we can copy into here. So you can see I've got my Twitter open. So I'm going to make sure that I go to my profile page using the menu on the left-hand side. We don't want to share anything else except our own page. And you can see now that I'm on the Good Exchanges page, and you can see that reflects at the top here in the link. And I'm just going to copy that link by selecting the whole thing and then right-click and copy. I'm going back to the dashboard. Click into the URL box and right-click on the mouse and paste. And you can see it's copied in the link to our page. And then simply click Add. And you'll see now what the system does is show you the Twitter logo. It's showing you it's added it correctly. And we will go back and check that this does link through to the Twitter page later. Next thing we're going to do is add our Facebook page. Click on Add again. This time we're selecting Facebook from the drop-down menu. And again, we need to find the link to our Facebook page. So now that we've got the other window open for our Facebook page, we're going to now copy this. Now, the only part you need to copy is up to the end of your organisation name on the link. So you can see I'm highlighting all the way up to the Good Exchange. And then again, I'm right-clicking on the mouse and copy. And back to the dashboard. Same thing again, click into the URL box, right-click and paste, and add to save. And now you've got a nice Facebook icon as well on there. Now, the next thing we want to do is search for our organisation page on the Good Exchange to make sure that these links are working correctly. So we're going to go and search for our individual organisation page, just as if we're a member of the public looking for your charity, and just make sure that these are working. So searching on the Good Exchange that you may have done already, we're going to use the magnifying glass search on the very, very top right of the Good Exchange when you're working on it. So click on that. And you can see it's giving us the option to find a funder, applicant, fundraiser or project. And we're looking for you, the applicant page. So we're going to type in the name of our organisation. In this case, I'm using the Newbury and Thatcham Hospital Building Trust. And you can see it's coming up already. I can select it from the options, make sure it says applicant, or you can search find an applicant here. I'm going to use this one today. So it's showing the results for the Newbury and Thatcham Hospital Building Trust. You can see this is the one I'm wanting here. It says applicant here, and I'm going to click on the result to come through to my organisational page. Now, as Marina was showing you briefly earlier, this is what your organisation page looks like on the Good Exchange. Sometimes this confuses people a little. When you register on the Good Exchange and you're approved, you will have a live organisation page. Then when your project's approved, you'll have a live project page as well. But your organisation page will always show the projects that you're currently running or the ones you've run before that have become successful. So this is your organisation live page on the Good Exchange. So we're going to have a look at the links that we added earlier for Facebook and Twitter, and these should hopefully copy through to our Facebook and Twitter pages that we just copied in. So we're going to click on the Twitter one to just check it. Straight away it comes through to the Good Exchange page, so that's perfect. We can close that. And we'll check on the Facebook one. And again, you can see it's coming through to the Good Exchange Facebook profile. So basically what this does is it means anyone visiting your organisation page, and this will be reflected on your project as well, anyone clicking on the Facebook or Twitter link can come through to your Facebook and Twitter pages, and it means that they can engage more with you, they can like your page, they can follow you on Twitter, and it's all about engaging people and connecting with them. So if you can add those links once you set up your pages, that's ideal. Okay, so the next thing we want to look at is your project page on the Good Exchange. Now, Marina has also covered a little bit posting and tweeting about your project. Now, this is a really, really good thing to do, as it really does help with fundraising. We have noticed that sharing your project page on your social media pages does encourage people to donate and support your project. So, first thing to do, if you are going to share your project page or this page, it's always important to be logged out from the Good Exchange, so you're following the process just as if you were a member of the public. So I'm going to log out of my account. Just a member of the public coming in, and I really, really want to support the Rosemary Appeal, or I may have found you via someone else, I may have found you in a search of my own. So for now, I'm going to find, I know about the Rosemary Appeal project, and I'm going to look for it, and I'm going to support it. So you click on the magnifying glass again to search on the Good Exchange, and this time it's asking you what you want to search for, and we're looking to find a project, so we're clicking the middle button. So as I said before, my project is called the Rosemary Appeal. This is the one I want to share on my Facebook page. So I'm going to search for it in the box. And I'm going to select it's a project. I know that it's a project, and I'm going to see what it finds. Now, this one here is actually successful that we're using. So what I'm going to do is show you a live project to copy across instead. So we're going to go with this one here, which is currently still live in fundraising. Okay, so I've come through to the project, and you can see this is what your project looks like to the public. If you have a live project, you should be familiar with this already. Scroll down, it's showing you the various information that you've set up here. Now, I want to share this with my Twitter followers. So I'm going to do exactly what I did before and copy the link. So you can select all the link or click on it once to make it turn blue, and then right click and copy again, just as we did before. And then I'm going over to my Twitter, and I'm going to create a tweet. Click on the tweet button, And I'm going to click my link into the tweet. So again, right click and paste into the box. And you can see it's copied in the link to my project that I want to share. Now, always useful as well to add in a little message to the followers, just because they'll just wonder what it is. You know, you want to attract them to come in and support you. Tell them a little bit about what you're doing, if you can. And if you have match funding from a funder on your project, this is a really useful place to mention that. Tell your followers, tell possible donors that their donations will be matched, will be doubled. That acts as a really nice incentive for them to support you. So this is your opportunity to speak to your followers, encourage them to support your project, tell them about match funding. You can also add other things in, like copying in other organisations. And what we ask you to do normally is copy us in at the Good Exchange. Now, this is called tagging. And you can see what I've done is I've entered the @ name. In Twitter, we always use the @ name. And I've started typing the Good Exchange, which I know is our name on Twitter. And you can see that Twitter's found it for us. So we're going to select it and it stays blue. And that means when you click to share this tweet with your followers, you will automatically tag in us at the Good Exchange, which means that we'll be notified about your post. We can have a read and we can share it out with our followers as well. So the same thing will apply if you copy in other charities that relate to you, people you know, followers that you know are interested in what you do. You can tag them in as well, and they'll be notified about your tweets. Although I wouldn't add too many, as it can distract really from the main message that you're trying to put across, which is to encourage people to support you. You can also add hashtags, which are relevant things about your organisation, but we'll go into that a little bit deeper in later webinars when we look at using Facebook and Twitter in a kind of more advanced way, and we do have those available on the website at the moment as well. So that's sharing your project page on Twitter. And do, if you can, add a little image as well, as visuals really help to draw the eye of potential donors and encourage them to get interested in coming through to your project page. So same thing again, we're going to do the same thing on Facebook. I'm going to go back to my project that I'd like to share, and I'm going to copy the link again. You can see it's still already highlighted for me, which is good. And right click and copy, and go into my Facebook page instead. Now in Facebook, we're writing a post, so you can see it's got the option here. I'm clicking into the box just as I did before, and I'm right-clicking and pasting. And you can see automatically it's copying in the link to my project page, and it's giving a little bit of an overview about the Good Exchange underneath, because Facebook is recognising that it's coming through to the Good Exchange. But you don't have to have that popping up. You can close it here by clicking the Remove button. Exactly the same as we did before. We're going to put a nice little message about what we do, what we want people to do. Please come in and support us. So we want them to click on the link and come through to the project. And again, like before, you can also tag in the Good Exchange and any other people you know into the post. And you can see, just like Twitter, Facebook is finding it for us. And we want to select it. If you don't select the right one, it won't be correctly tagged and the person won't be notified. You'll know if it's correctly tagged if it turns blue. If it still says at the Good Exchange, it hasn't worked. So always just select the right option from the options that are presented to you from Facebook. So we've tagged in the Good Exchange. We'll be notified. We'll share your post as well. And tell people again about your match funding. It really does help. And then you can add a photo or a video onto your post as well. Really does help again to draw the eye of people. Something emotive, if you've got maybe the team or the people that you support, your beneficiaries, do put in a relevant photo or video on every post and tweet, as it does help to increase your audience. Okay. So that's creating a Facebook post and a tweet. And as I said, we do have a little bit more on that on our advanced webinars. Now, what we do have next is some examples of really good tweets and posts by some of our applicant organisations on the Good Exchange. So we're just going to show you them now and go back to the slides. Okay. So starting with tweets, these ones we thought were really quite good when we found them on our page. So you can see here, this is the example that Marina was using before, Young People and Children First, who are one of the applicants on the Good Exchange. And what they've done is they've shared out the details of their project. They've tagged in the Good Exchange. They've encouraging people. They've got a nice message here: donate to one of our projects. They've tagged us in. It's turned blue, so that's worked. And they've also mentioned their match funding. So Greenham Trust will double the funding. Please come in and support us. So that really did help with their donations. It did encourage people to donate, knowing that their donation will be doubled. And then they've got the link to their project page, which they've actually shortened using a link shortener. And that is something you don't have to do, but we do cover that in our other webinars as well. Also, they have a really nice picture. It's extremely clear what their project is about. They may or may not have created this on Canva, this picture, but Canva is certainly something you can use to make a picture just like this. So a really useful tool, Canva, that Marina mentioned to you earlier. And you can see that people have started to like the tweet. When you click the little heart symbol, that's you liking the tweet. And we know that it was shared out as well. So a really, really good example there. This one here is actually a fundraiser who was fundraising on behalf of the ARC charity cancer project on the Good Exchange, and you can see that this chap was going to be running a marathon. He's letting people know what he was doing. He's copied in the applicant organisation and the Good Exchange, and he's got a number of relevant hashtags here as well. So hashtags really are words that people will search for on Facebook or Twitter to find relevant things to them. So charity is obviously quite relevant to what he's doing. Donations, every little helps. So that's a really, really nice tweet there, and an image of the fundraiser as well, which is lovely. Okay, on Facebook, examples we've got here, the applicant organisation Airbus Bartons. So they were fundraising for a new minibus, I believe, on the Good Exchange at the time. Now you can see what they've done is put a very clear message on their Facebook post. Use the button on our page, the Learn More button, to donate directly to our campaign for a new bus. So what they've done is they've used the Learn More button to direct through to their organisation page on the Good Exchange, where people can find their project and donate. And they've also tagged in at the Good Exchange, and they have a fantastic picture. So this is a really, really good example. Another one here is Wash Commons Scout Group, another applicant on the Good Exchange, and they set up a wills scheme as a fundraising activity, where if you set up a will with this particular organisation, the fee for that would be donated through. So they've been sharing a really nice post about what they're doing, what their activity is. They've copied in anyone who's related to that, including the Good Exchange, the funder who's supporting them, and another kind of supporting organisation who is undertaking the wills scheme. So this is a really, really good post. And again, it's extremely clear about what they're doing here as well. And they've used the image section to give you further information about their projects. So really, really nice examples. Really, with Facebook and Twitter and all of this, it's really just about playing around with it, trying it, see what works, try a post, have a look at it as if you're a member of the public. Think about, would you be encouraged to donate looking at that post? What else could you add to it, images and things? So it's taking your time, it's trying it out and doing what you can, and you will find that eventually it really does help with your fundraising. And as I said, don't worry, these slides will be available at the end, so you can go through all of this at your own pace, including the demo that I showed you, and we're always available here for help as well. Right, so I'm going to pass you over to Roisin now, and she's going to come away from Facebook and Twitter, and she's going to talk to you about sharing on WhatsApp.
Okay, so WhatsApp is a really quick and easy way that you can share your project, link out to all your friends and family. So it's quite simple to do. So what you need to do first is go into the Good Exchange and find the project that you'd like to share. So here you can see that we've picked Heartburn Cancer UK. Just please note that you can only do this on your mobile. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see a grey icon there. It's like the 3 dots. So then if you click on that, you'll be able to click on the WhatsApp. So if you click on the WhatsApp icon, then you can pick, it'll take you through to your WhatsApp on your phone. So following this, then you can pick the person that you'd like to share your project with. So if you click on the person that you'd like to share the project with, you can see that the link follows through here. And then this is the point then where you can just type a message and say, for example, we've put here, I've just donated to this amazing project, why don't you too? So it's quite nice to put a little message in there to explain to the person why you're sending this project. So then if you click on send, that will send to the person that you want to send the message to. It's quite important to note here that you don't need to be a user of the Good Exchange to do this. So anyone can come onto the Good Exchange. You don't have to log in or anything to be able to share this. They just simply need to be able to go onto the Good Exchange, search the project, find the share icon, and then follow these steps. So we've also got a video link that you can see just here. So if you click on this link when we send the slides out to you, this is a video demonstration that shows you how you're able to share your WhatsApp.
So that's the end of the actual formal webinar. Does anyone have any questions? Well, Kelvin, we have multiple Facebook and Twitter accounts for different projects. Can we link more than one account to the Good Exchange?
You can only link one at a time, Kelvin. What it would be better to have is one central Facebook and Twitter account for your organisation rather than for the projects, because then you'll just be setting up lots and lots of different accounts for projects. And that way you've got that one account saved on your organisation, and then you're sharing out your projects on those accounts. So it would be better to have one central one if you can. That would be our advice on that.
So thanks very much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the next one.